action. Hi! Today we're here to talk about energetic entanglements, cord cutting, and how to get the spiritual monkey off your back. One thing you may not know is that as humans, we only perceive 0.003 of what's actually out there. So this is exploring into that other 99.997% and what's there. And what we found is there is way more there than you imagine. You can walk around in your everyday life and look normal, but on a spiritual level, this is what you look like. And how hard do you think it is in your life to do things
You okay?
and you can't talk when you're being choked by the cords that are holding you back? So we have one end of the cord, and the other end of this cord is attached to somebody else. So that's why somebody else's emotions, the way that they're feeling, can all of a sudden be pulling us. We don't even know why, but we can't help it because we got a cord tied to the person that is involved. These cords, they're two-way streets. Not only can people send us energy through the cord, it can go the other way as well.
And this isn't a new concept if you think about it. You think about those times in a positive way where this occurs, and you're thinking about that loved one of yours, boom, they call. And we've chalked it up to synchronicity, but Jen and I have come to find out through exploring all these things that can't be seen that a lot of reasons why that occurs is because of that cord that allows information, energy, to fly between the two of you, encouraging an action and response.
The idea is hopefully we're setting up really healthy relationships with people where there's a beautiful energy exchange, nobody is tied up, nobody is an unwilling participant. But what ends up happening, especially with loved ones and people in our lives, is that instead of a beautiful exchange that is positive and consensual between both parties, you end up like this.
You also can recognize this in your own life. You know, you think about that ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or something that you had a relationship with, that right about the time where you feel like that cord or that entanglement is starting to subside to the point where you can find true happiness again. You're looking at other people, you're looking around again, and what do you know? Of course, that cell phone rings or you get that text message from that person because they're feeling that entanglement starting to deplete. They're feeling that entanglement start to unravel to a point where they don't have the kind of pull that they once had on you. So in order to re-engage in that pull, that text message comes in and they wrap you up again and make you confused about where you're at.
The idea of healing is to get yourself unwrapped of these things. We want to get these emotional monkeys off our back, these things that we are carrying around that, gosh, this is very uncomfortable trying to get around with my emotional monkey. You know, it's in the way.
So what we found is these emotional entanglements or these cords can happen for a multitude of reasons in a lot of different ways. You can get them in this present life, so it could be experiences that you've endured or a traumatic base, especially negative energy that you put on past life events that have created a cord.
For example, a way that you can acquire a present life emotional entanglement for a mother not wanting their child to grow up and leave the nest. Right? That would really, as a mother, come from a place of insecurity and fear about our children growing up. So what we do, we tell them, please don't grow up. Don't leave the nest. I love you so much. You just stay close to me, okay? And then we end up choking our children with our emotional entanglements and our fear of not wanting them to go. So we just wrap our kids up and we hold them close.
We can also have ancestral trauma that we come into this life tied up. So you might have came into this life with this cord already on your body that you've inherited from past events, from past lifetimes. We'll discuss that in a much greater degree in other videos. The point is, it's about identifying them so that they can be released. And it's diving into this work that's let us both know that there's more to the story than meets the eye. There's these ancestral entanglements that unless we take a hard look at them are always going to be the thing that holds us back to the things we want most.
Yeah, it's like being an Asian lady driver and having one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake, and you wonder why you don't go anywhere very fast.
The truth is, those entanglements were placed there for a reason at some point in your life, whether it's in this present life or a past life incarnation. They were put in place as either a safety measure, a vow, something that was influential in your life enough to put enough emotion into it
It could be a spiritual contract that you were very happy to agree to with another person to tie yourselves all up for that lifetime, and you didn't realize it was going to persist lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after. Now what, right? The first step is acknowledgement. Acknowledging that there are energetic cords that we all have, right? There's no shame, okay? We all have them. And unless you're practicing spiritual hygiene, you guarantee got them.
You got them.
Got them.
The second thing, in addition to number one, is number two, you have to understand how the chords work. There's no victims in this chord extravaganza we got going on here.
We signed up for these.
This is a two-way street, and you might think that they're sending it all in one direction, but in some way, shape, or form, you're letting that occur.
And so the last step is doing something about it. After acknowledging it and realizing how we are participating in our whole entrapment, for me, it was going out and trying to find help to get myself untangled.
Me too.
Okay, like we said, well, you can try and do some meditation, maybe some yoga. You might be able to achieve some of this in therapy, maybe other sorts of rituals and practices. But honestly, for us, it took going out and finding someone to help us through all of this.
Yeah, to look into the darkness that you don't know, you don't understand, you don't see through your senses, but you know it's there. And you know it's there too, because when that person tugs on that cord, you feel it. You know you feel it.
So for us, it was spiritual response therapy. The reason it was so effective is because it identifies where the cord originated from, who it's attached to, and third, eliminates it.
How to get rid of it so you don't carry this around anymore.
It is actual, tangible results. You can do all the right things. You can have the positive thoughts. You can control the thoughts that become things. You can be doing all of that right. But in the unseen realm, if you're carrying around some monkeys on your back, if you're all tied up, it's never going to have the effectiveness that you're looking for.
So you ask yourself, where are your cords at? What are you tied to? Who are you tied to energetically? Both positive. Acknowledge those people too. Those are your people. But also look at the people who you're tied to that are pulling your strings. And somehow, some way, you're allowing that to happen.
So when you're done with these cords and having people be able to pull your strings, push your buttons, we're here to help you.